James, I was sitting in a coffee shop yesterday, just listening to the people at the next table, and I realized something interesting. They weren't really arguing, but they were just tossing ideas back and forth. And the way they used their language, it was so fluid. They weren't just saying, I like this or I don't like that. They were nuancing their thoughts. And I thought, wow, that is the next level for our students.
Oh, I love that. Eavesdropping on conversations for research purposes. But you are so right. There is a huge difference between basic English, where you just agree or disagree, and high-level English, where you can express exactly how you feel about something with confidence and subtlety. It's like painting with more than just two colors.
Exactly. It's the difference between a sketch and a masterpiece. And today, that is exactly what we are here to do. We want to help you move past yes, I agree and no, I disagree, and really help you own your opinions in English.
I am so ready for this topic. It's one of those things that makes you feel like a fluent speaker, even if you are still learning grammar. If you can express an opinion clearly, people respect you. You become part of the conversation, not just an observer.
A very warm welcome to everyone joining us here at Learning English Studio. I'm Amelia, your host, and I'm really excited to dive into this topic with you all today.
And hello everybody, it's James here. I'm feeling great today, Amelia. I feel like we have a very powerful episode ahead of us. It's going to be useful for work, for university, or just for chatting with friends.
Absolutely, and thank you all for tuning in. Before we jump into the deep end of expressing opinions, just a quick reminder from the studio. Please do hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us keep making these free lessons for you. And if you like the show, give us a little thumbs up.
Yes, please do, and share the podcast with a friend who maybe struggles to speak up in meetings or in class. Let's spread the confidence.
I love that, spreading confidence. Okay, James, let's start from the beginning. When someone asks, what do you think, the panic can sometimes set in, right?
Oh, totally. The brain freezes. You know you have an opinion, but the words just vanish.
Yes, the vocabulary vanishes. So the first thing we need are stallers or buying time phrases. You need something to say while your brain catches up.
That's a great term, buying time. My favorite one is simple. That's an interesting question. Or, well, let me think about that for a second.
Those are classic. Well, that's a good point. Or, to be honest, I haven't really thought about it before, but these give you a few seconds to breathe and formulate your sentence without just staying silent.
Silence can feel awkward, right? So filling it with a thoughtful phrase makes you sound smart, not hesitant.
Exactly. It sounds like you are considering the question deeply. So step one is don't panic, use a phrase. Let me see.
Okay, so now we have bought our time, we have a few seconds. Now how do we actually state our opinion? We shouldn't just jump in with, I think. It gets boring if you say I think 10 times in 1 minute.
Oh, absolutely. Variety is the spice of life and of language. Let's brainstorm some alternatives to I think.
Okay, the next level up is I believe. That sounds a bit stronger. I believe that.
I feel is also good, especially for personal or emotional topics. I feel like we should...
What about in my opinion? That's very formal and clear. In my opinion, this is the best choice.
Yes, very professional. And for a slightly more conversational but still smart tone, you can say, if you ask me, or the way I see it.
The way I see it is one of my favorites. It sounds very natural. It implies that you're looking at the situation from your unique perspective.
It really does. Or how about, it seems to me that... That's nice because it's a little bit softer. It shows you're open to the possibility that you might be wrong.
Oh, that is a great point. It seems to me is humble. It's not aggressive.
Let's try a quick mix. Imagine the topic is remote work. How many ways can we say we like it?
Okay, I think remote work is great. Level 1. I believe remote work is the future. Level 2. If you ask me, working from home is much better for productivity.
Nice. The way I see it, we save so much time not commuting. In my opinion, it offers a better work-life balance.
See, we just said the same basic idea, remote work is good, but 5 different ways. It sounds so much more interesting.
It really does. It shows you have a rich vocabulary. Now, what happens when you disagree with someone? This is the scary part for many students. They don't want to be rude.
Right. No one wants to start an argument, but disagreeing doesn't have to be aggressive. In fact, in English, we often soften our disagreements to be polite.
We put it in a verbal cushion.
I love that, a verbal cushion. So instead of saying, no, you are wrong, which is harsh, we say, I see your point, but...
I see your point, but is the gold standard. It validates them before you correct them. It shows you listened.
Another good one is, I'm not sure I agree with that. The I'm not sure part softens it.
Or, that's a valid perspective, but I see it a little differently.
I beg to differ. Now that is very formal and quite strong. You have to be careful with that one. It's almost like a polite fight.
Yes, use that in a courtroom, not at a dinner party.
What about, I'm afraid I can't agree with you on that?
That's very British, very polite. I'm afraid adds that touch of regret. Oh, I'm so sorry, I just cannot agree.
It's charming. It softens the blow completely.
So the formula is validate plus soften plus your opinion.
I understand what you mean, but I tend to think that perfect.
Let's talk about expressing strong opinions. Sometimes we don't want to be soft. Sometimes we feel passionate about a topic, like protecting the environment or human rights, or, I don't know, pizza toppings?
Oh, don't get me started. But for strong opinions, we use stronger verbs. Instead of I think, we say I am convinced that, or I am absolutely certain that.
I am convinced that climate change is the most important issue of our time. Boom.
It sounds authoritative, but again, context matters. If you use these phrases for small things, like where to eat lunch, it might sound a bit dramatic.
I am absolutely certain that we should eat sandwiches. A bit too much.
Just a bit. Save the big guns for the big topics.
Okay, let's switch gears to partial agreement. Sometimes you agree with one part of what someone says, but not the rest. This is a very sophisticated conversational move.
Oh, I like this. This shows critical thinking. You aren't just a yes man, you are analyzing the idea. The phrase here is, I agree up to a point.
Yes, I agree up to a point, but, or that's true in theory, but in practice.
I see what you mean, however, or I can see that, but on the other hand.
On the other hand is such a useful phrase. It instantly tells the listener you are about to present a contrasting view.
It's like a signpost. Warning, curve ahead.
Yes, signposting is very important. Phrases like, having said that, or that said, they signal a shift in the conversation.
Let's try a role play to practice this. I'll state an opinion, and you can partially agree with me.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. I think that technology is ruining the younger generation. Kids are always on their phones.
Okay, partial agreement. I agree up to a point. It's true that kids spend a lot of time on screens, but on the other hand, they also have access to incredible educational resources that we never had.
Nice, very balanced. I agree up to a point work perfectly there.
It makes you sound reasonable. It makes people want to listen to you.
Let's talk about speculating. Sometimes we're asked for an opinion, but we don't know the answer. We have to guess based on intuition.
Ah, speculating. This happens a lot in business. What will the market do next year? Who will win the election?
We use phrases like, if I had to guess, I'd say, or it's hard to say for sure, but I reckon.
I reckon is a bit informal, isn't it?
It is. It's very common in British and Australian English. In American English, maybe I figure or I guess. I figure it's gonna rain.
My gut feeling is that. That's a good one. It implies instinct. My gut feeling is that he is telling the truth.
Or I get the impression that. That's softer. It's about the vibe you are getting from a situation.
I get the impression that the meeting didn't go very well. Very useful for office politics.
Very useful.
Okay, let's talk about hedging. This is a concept that helps students sound more natural and less aggressive. Hedging means using words that show you aren't 100% sure or you're leaving room for error.
Right. Words like maybe, perhaps, possibly, sort of, kind of.
But for high-level English, we integrate these more smoothly. Instead of saying, it is kind of expensive, we say, it's somewhat expensive.
Or, it tends to be, it seems to be, it appears to be.
It would appear that sounds very sophisticated. It would appear that we have a problem.
Ideally we would launch in June, but realistically, it might be July.
That is a great combo, ideally versus realistically. It shows you understand the difference between what you want and what is likely to happen.
Another hedge is roughly or approximately. It's roughly $50, not it is $50.
Precision is good, but sometimes being too precise sounds unnatural. Native speakers hedge all the time. He's like 40 years old. The like is a hedge.
He's like 40.
We use like a lot as a filler, but in formal speaking, we might say around 40.
Okay, let's move to asking for opinions, because a conversation is a two-way street. You can't just give your opinion, you have to invite others to give theirs.
True, and we can ask in different ways to get different results. If you want a quick, simple answer, you ask, what do you think? But if you want a deep answer, you ask, what's your take on?
What's your take is very common in professional settings. What's your take on the new policy?
Or how do you feel about? This invites an emotional response. How do you feel about the new design?
What's your perspective? What's your view? Where do you stand on this? I'm on the fence. That means you are undecided. You are sitting on the fence, not jumping to one side or the other.
I love the visual, sitting on a fence.
And if you don't have an opinion, you can say, I haven't made my mind yet, or it's too early to say.
That is a very honest answer. Sometimes we just don't know, and it's okay to say that.
Yes, better to be honest than to make something up.
Okay, let's take a short break here, listeners. We'll be right back with more tips on how to own your opinions, and we're going to talk about something tricky, changing your mind.
Don't go anywhere.
And we are back. Welcome back to Learning English Studio. I'm Amelia, here with James, and we are talking about expressing opinions confidently.
Hi, everyone. We were just talking about not having an opinion, but now I want to talk about the opposite. What if you change your mind? Is it weak to change your mind?
That is a great question. Some people think that changing your mind makes you look like you don't know what you're talking about. But actually, I think it's a sign of intelligence. It means you are open to new information.
I agree completely. It shows you are listening. But how do you do it in English without losing face?
There are some great phrases for this. You know what? You've convinced me. That is very gracious. It gives the other person the credit.
Or, I hadn't thought of it that way. Or, that's a fresh perspective.
On second thought, that's a good one. On second thought, maybe I was wrong.
Or, I take it back. That's a bit more informal. I take back what I said about the movie. It was actually pretty good.
I stand corrected. That is very formal and polite. It means I was wrong and I accept it.
I stand corrected. It makes you sound like a gentleman or a gentlewoman. Very dignified.
It really does. So listeners, don't be afraid to change your mind. It's a strength, not a weakness.
Okay, let's talk about interrupting. Sometimes you have a brilliant idea, but the other person just keeps talking. How do you jump in without being rude?
This is an art form, the polite interruption. You have to use a signal phrase. Sorry to interrupt, but... Or, can I just come in here?
Can I just add something quickly? That works well.
Or the classic, excuse me, followed immediately by your point. But you have to say it with a rising intonation, not an angry one.
If I could just stop you there for a moment. That's a bit more authoritative. Maybe a boss talking to an employee.
And if you are interrupted, you can assertively say, if you could just let me finish my point.
I wasn't quite finished yet. Polite but firm.
Exactly. It's about setting boundaries.
Let's talk about some idioms related to opinions. English loves idioms.
Oh yes, to play devil's advocate. We mentioned this earlier. It means you are arguing for the opposite side just to make the conversation interesting.
To speak your mind, that means to say exactly what you think without filtering it. He really speaks his mind.
That can be good or bad depending on the context. Ha-ha.
To have mixed feelings, that is a very honest state. I have mixed feelings about the new job. The money is good, but the hours are long.
Or to have second thoughts. That means you are doubting a decision you already made. I'm having second thoughts about buying this car.
To sit on the fence, like we said, and to bite your tongue. That means you want to say something, but you stop yourself to be polite or to avoid trouble.
I had to bite my tongue when he said that. I feel like I do that a lot.
Me too. It saves a lot of arguments.
Let's try to put this all together in a hypothetical scenario. Let's say we are colleagues discussing a new project.
Okay, I'll start. I'm the boss. We need to launch this product by December.
Okay, I'm the employee with a different opinion. December? That's a very tight deadline.
I know, but if we don't, we miss the holiday market.
I see your point, James, but in my opinion, if we rush it, the quality will suffer, and that could hurt our brand reputation in the long run.
That's a valid concern. However, marketing is ready to go. We just need the product.
I get the impression that we are prioritizing speed over quality. Don't you think customers will complain if the app is buggy?
That's a good point. Maybe we can do a soft launch in November.
A soft launch? That's an interesting idea. It would give us time to fix bugs before the big rush.
So do you think we should push the internal deadline to November 1st?
If you ask me, yes, it's the safer bet.
Okay, you've convinced me. Let's do it.
That was a perfect negotiation. We used so many phrases. I see your point. In my opinion, however, that's a valid concern. I get the impression. Interesting idea. You've convinced me.
It sounded professional, polite, and effective. We reached a solution without fighting.
Exactly, and that is the goal, to communicate effectively.
So listeners, the takeaway here is to practice these phrases in isolation first. Just memorize 3 or 4 that you like.
Yes, don't try to memorize a dictionary. Just pick your favorites. Maybe the way I see it, I tend to think, and I beg to differ.
And use them in your daily life, even when talking to yourself.
Talk to yourself in the shower. I think I need shampoo.
I'm convinced that this water is too hot. Okay, we are coming towards the end of the show, but we have one final, very important segment. We want to hear from you.
Yes, we want to challenge you to use one of these phrases right now.
The topic today is going to be something universal. We want to know your opinion on social media.
Great topic. Everyone has an opinion on that.
So listeners, we want you to write a comment below answering this question. Is social media good or bad for society?
But here's the challenge. You cannot just say, it is good. You must use one of the high-level phrases we taught you today.
Exactly. For example, you could write, in my opinion, social media helps us connect, but it can also be addictive.
Or, I tend to believe that social media does more harm than good because...
Or, I have mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, it's fun, but on the other hand, it wastes time.
We want to see your sentences. It's the best way to practice.
And also tell us which phrase you found most difficult to pronounce. Was it nuance or perspective?
Yes, let us know. We can help you in the next episode.
Don't be shy. Write your opinion in the comments. We read every single one of them.
We really do. And don't forget, if you liked this episode, please share it with a friend who wants to improve their English.
And subscribe. We have lots more great content coming.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Remember, your voice matters. You have unique ideas, and you deserve to express them confidently.
Beautifully said. So go out there and speak your mind. Be polite, be confident, and be you.
See you next time on Learning English Studio.
Goodbye.